Hello everyone, Bard here, and welcome to the special Winnie the Pooh two-parter. Well, now that Disney's live-action Winnie the Pooh movie, or it's just called Christopher Robin, is now out in theaters, it's time to review the second Pooh film in this two-parter special. And surprisingly, this one is not only based around A.A. Milne's stories with E.H. Shepard's illustrations, but is one I feel has more charm and likability than the feature-length one. It's the underrated and underappreciated short film released alongside the re-release of Sword in the Stone, Winnie the Pooh and a Day for Eeyore. After Winnie the Pooh had invented a game called Pooh Sticks, he, Piglet, Rabbit, and Roo decide to play the game together, until they find Eeyore floating in the river. And once they help him out, Eeyore said he was bounced in the river by Tigger, who doesn't take it lightly. But Eeyore didn't care what happened and is more gloomy than before, because it's his birthday and no one knows about it. So Pooh, with the help of Piglet, tried to cheer Eeyore up by giving him presents, with Pooh giving a pot of honey but ate all the honey and instead gives it as a useful pot, and Piglet giving a red balloon. It does seem unfair that this short doesn't get as much attention as some of the other Pooh films, but it definitely deserves to be noticed. Everything around this short is simply charming and quite unique. It does manage to capture the look and feel of the original, but it does it in such a way that makes it stand out a little more. The music from Steve Zuckerman is one of the best themes for the short. It's very serene and mellow and didn't go all bouncy and happy like the original. I mean, the Sherman Brothers music is really good, but I prefer this one more. Even the reorchestrations of the main theme and song are pretty soothing and sweet. The animation is kind of cartoony in a sense. On occasion, the characters feel more rubbery in some of their movement, which might be a bit much, but the way they look seem more cute than the last time, especially with Pooh. It's also nice to see another story centered on a secondary character, this time being Eeyore, which is interesting in how it's done. Yes, he's always gloomy, but how can you tell if he's more gloomy when nothing on him changes? By having it rain at his spot, of course. And not only that, the rain even follows him, making for a fun visual. We also know his favorite color, favorite size, and even see him make a big smile for the first time. Much better than that cringe-inducing grin he made in the Very Merry Pooh year. Still, it's nice to see and know more about him than in the previous film, and to even expand later on in other movies and TV shows. However, not everything about it is all that great from my point of view. I mean, the issues I have aren't a big deal, but they are very bothersome. One is with the fourth wall breaking. It's done well, and even though there's no playing with the text, the thing is with the characters talking to the narrator. It starts off pretty good with Pooh, but when the narrator interrupts Eeyore and Tigger's argument, all the characters wonder where the voice is coming from. Why have this in? I get with Rabbit and Eeyore, and at least Tigger sees who's talking, but how come Pooh and even Piglet never notice it? They talked to the narrator before, and Pooh just spoke with him many minutes ago. Is it because they got too engaged with Eeyore and Tigger arguing to take notice, or did they not recognize the voice at all? Another is with how it ends. All of these Pooh shorts bookend in live action with Christopher Robin's room and his toys, ending with Pooh winking. Now in the previous one, it ended fine, because it had the right music to play out on and it felt satisfying. But with this one, it felt really creepy. With the music creeping up, the still image of just Pooh winking, it was really uncomfortable. But one big thing is with the opening voiceover credits. In the original and VHS versions, the cast is credited as they are. But on the DVD version, the cast is changed yet kept a couple of the original cast on, meaning that it was a redubbed version. Yet in the actual short, it's just the original cast voicing the characters. So at some point, Disney was going to redub this short with the modern Pooh cast at the time, but somehow they didn't bother with it and forgot to remove the cast credits when they refused. Yet at least they didn't redub all of the originals and didn't go the route of the original Star Wars trilogy by removing them altogether and only having the newer versions. But then, all of these problems I have are mainly nitpicks. And speaking of the cast, the real voice talent for the characters are all great. Of course, I've already mentioned a couple of the cast members in my last review, but I'll mention them again just for the heck of it. Hal Smith voices Winnie the Pooh and Owl. Will Ryan voices Rabbit. Ralph Wright voices Eeyore. John Fedler voices Piglet. Paul Winchell voices Tigger. Julie McWhorter-Deeds voices Kanga. Laurie Main voices the narrator, and Dick Billingsley voices Rue, and Ken Christensen voices Christopher Robin. As a whole, this short is delightful. The characters are great, the story is lovely, and the animation is all very nice. Director Rick Reinhardt had done a good job of making a Winnie the Pooh short film with the same charm and look as the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Though the characters may move and feel more cartoony, they actually look more cute in the way they're drawn. And despite a few issues that appear, this is quite a unique short in how it's like the previous Pooh shorts, but it's kind of its own thing and has a lot more charm than the last one. But despite not being talked about as much as other Pooh films Disney has done, it still deserves recognition for being a one-of-a-kind Pooh story, and one that has great charm and likability. So today, this short will be getting a rating of 3 stars. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, support me on Patreon, and see you next time when I review Christopher Robin.